Okay, here we're going snow plowing. It's about -8 this morning, and we got about 15 centimeters of snow, about 5.5 inches of snow last night, on top of the probably 10 centimeters or 3 or 4 inches we've already had. Let's see if I can turn this camera around. That's Lucy you're hearing down there. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Luce. So we've got to go plow the driveway, which is a couple 100 feet long. So I'm going to go out here and start up Mr. Skid Steer. I plugged it in last night, so the block heater should be warming it up. Our tractor looks cold. We don't use it for plowing because we don't have a plow for it, and it's got an open cab, as you can see anyway, so it's kind of cold. The skid steer over here is enclosed. It's got heat, got a plow, and we put chains on it, so it's pretty much unstoppable now. So looking back towards the house, you can see how much snow we got. For us lower mainland people, island people, this is a lot of snow. For people in the interior, probably not so much. Okay. Block heater. It's not that cold today. It's only about, like I said, about -8, I think, which isn't really that chilly, but I think about 80% humidity, which is kind of fun. Should have brought a snow brush out here with me. That's fun. The skid steer is interesting, as it's got heat and everything, but it also has big holes in the floor, like the not holes in the floor, like it's by design. There's just big gaps, open gaps in the floor. A little tricky to get into too, especially if you're a taller person. But it seems to work pretty well. Oh yeah, I know. Put my seatbelt on. I got it. Safety. Okay, let's see if this bad boy will start. We have to probably let the glow plugs warm up for a few seconds. The seat's cold, that's for sure. Pressure warning light, just because the RPMs were so low, and then parking brake automatically engages every time you shut it off. Turn the fan on here, it's going to start fogging up. It takes 2 hands to drive and 1 hand to pretty tough to see around in this. There's not a lot of visibility in here, so you have to be really cautious when you're moving. And with the chains on, I don't want to steer too hard. So I put driveway markers up because I was guessing last time, and of course you can't see where the road ends and the grass starts, so a little bit off, so we put driveway markers up, but of course ground's frozen by the time I thought to do that, so you can't pound in those fiberglass things because they just shatter. And yeah, away we go. Looks like we've got somebody down here already. It's interesting. Oh, I think our tenant Robert was out walking his dog. That's about the speed, what, 3 or 4 kilometers an hour? It's not top speed, but it's you don't need to plow fast. And of course, I'm going to go up to the end and turn around and come down. So I don't need to do the entire width of the roadway. It's crowned in the middle, like it's got, you know, the tire ruts where people drive, and then of course there's a higher spot in the middle and on the sides, so I often will catch the middle. And the blade is what they call a trip blade. You might see it here if I catch something. It'll fold forward on those huge big springs so I don't break anything. At least that's the theory anyway. If I go too low and start hitting rocks or something in the middle, that way, like I said, it won't break the blade or the attachments or the pivot point to the skid steer. Starting to warm up, which is nice. The engine is. There's our view on the left side, or the right side. Probably should watch what I'm doing here. Yeah, so that's it. So I'll check back again in a few minutes. Okay, so here we are going down. We've got a bit of a shared roadway up at the top, so I just cleared that off a little bit. We've got 2 neighbors. One of our neighbors has a plow on the front of his truck, and I think he likes plowing, but I just did a quick plow up there. You can see I'm too low here. I'm gonna dig it into the dirt down there. I don't know if you can see that, but just gonna raise up a little bit. Get a glimpse here of how much snow we've had over the last week. About, I don't know, I want to say half or 2/3 of that was last night. But the weather forecasts are surprisingly accurate up here for the most part. Coming from the lower mainland and the island, it's you know, it's a 50-50 crapshoot down there. But here, you know, if they say you're probably going to get 10 centimeters of snow, you know, so far our experience has been that we'll get 10 centimeters of snow, which is nice because we can be prepared for it. So I'm just trying to overlap my tire track that I went up with, and the only thing we have to get out of here are pickup trucks, so it's not like my blade goes out another foot to the right, more than you can see, more than I can see from the cab. So we can easily get a pickup truck out of here, no problem now. Yeah, it's a Saturday morning at the ranch in the winter. works. The one pedal on the right does nothing. It's not even a pedal. It's just a place to put your foot. On the left, there's a very wide pedal. It looks like the one on the right, except if you put pressure on it, it powers the auxiliary hydraulics. If I'm running something that requires hydraulics off the front end, which this does not. So now we've got tenants that live here, and they work up on Sun Peaks, so they need out on a regular basis. So I'm just going to do their access road too, because I think they are supposed to be, I'm going to put road markers in here. They're supposed to be leaving at some point this morning, so make sure that's plowed for them. I'm probably going to have to go over and go back on this one. Okay, it's going to get tricky here, so I'm going to put the camera away. Okay, so we finished that little section, so I'm just heading back downhill. Everything on this ranch is either uphill, downhill, or sideways on the hill. And kind of redoing that's what I did earlier coming up from where we were parked just off to the right there. Whoop, there you can see that blade. Well, you might not have seen that blade just did a trip. So I hit a rock or something. Just doing this a little bit slower here. I don't expect that we're going to be trying to take our pickup truck out today, but we are going to be running around in the little Kubota side-by-side. Probably going to go down and do some firewood work. So I'm going to plow down to the woodshed here too, which is way down at the bottom of the property. For some odd reason, they chose to put the woodshed, which is something you have to access there it goes, every day or two in the winter, down at the very bottom of the property. So the little Kubota side-by-side is pretty good at snow. So I'm just going to raise my blade up a little bit so I'm not chewing up the driveway too much. In fact, it could probably make it up and down here no problem, but we'll do it anyway. We're not sure how much more snow we're going to get over the next few days, so I may as well get a good amount off it now. So it'll take a little while. Cab's nice and warm, so I've just got the skid steer pretty much at idle, because especially since we're going downhill, it really doesn't need a lot of power. So just cruising along, pushing snow. Something a year ago I never thought I'd say. So we're just about back at the top of the hill here. I've got the plow blade down still just to get the stuff I missed, but it really doesn't matter that much. It's just going to be the skid steer, the side-by-side anyway. And I see Holly's snow blowing our parking area. I can't go on the parking area with this because we've got chains on it, and it's paved asphalt, so it'll just tear it up. Because the skid steer by very nature skids when it steers. All the wheels are fixed, they don't turn, so it just pulls back on, kind of like a tank steers, like a battle tank. So Holly just usually gets out with the walk-behind snowblower. We also have a little old quad, a little four-wheel quad, obviously a four-wheel quad, with a plow blade on it. So we'll just see what Holly's up to here. I might push some snow her way, and then she can clear the area to the driveway, and then she can blow it. Oh, she's already done most of it. She likes that little thing, I think. It's quite a remarkable little machine, you know, it blows snow a long way. I know it's pretty common with a lot of people that actually have winter, but for us it's a pretty slick little machine. Yeah, just working away there. Okay, we're all done. So just parked it back where it goes, and Yeah. Walk back and see Holly snow blowing here. So that took, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to do that whole thing. And you gotta be careful where you point that snowblower. I think she's gonna load all the snow up on the road I just plowed. I'm kidding, she won't. She's got it aimed over further than that. I left her a nice big pile of snow there in the middle for her to blow, but I don't know, or to get rid of, but I don't know if she realizes why I put it there yet. So anyway, yeah, so that's a typical Saturday morning here when it snows. Pretty cool.